com, and what I want to talk about today is when going out there and advocating for a sort of more voluntarist economy. So basically, an economy built more by voluntary relationships, we should stop advocating the privatization of certain functions of government. So instead we should advocate the voluntarization of certain functions of economics or certain functions of the government. What I mean by when you say privatization of a certain function, people take that as making it for profit. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing depends on your personal ideology. But what we really mean by privatization is really voluntarization, just meaning making the institution voluntary and having it run as a voluntary institution. This could be for profit or non-profit. The only point is to make sure that it's no longer a compulsory institution. So I have no personal view on whether there should be welfare programs, whether there should be a Department of Education, but I rather voluntarize it and make it where schools can voluntarily participate and with or have relationships with the Department of Education. Have it where people voluntarily fund the Department of Education, whether it be through donations or be by having being charged for some sort of service, for profit or non-profit. But the point is, I want to voluntarize them. Okay, they don't necessarily need to be a private business run by private corporations. There's no need for the common connotation of privatization. Could be non-profit, could be a locally community-based organization, could be through all sorts of other informal voluntary organizational structures. The point is, I want to voluntarize these functions of government. And this is the way we should advocate our reforms of government. We don't want to abolish government functions. Some people may want to say abolish government, but that's very different than saying you want to abolish its functions. We do want there to be a common defense for people. We do want people who cannot take care of themselves to be taken care of. We do want education for everybody. The question is, how should the institutions be structured to achieve these functions? So it's not that I don't want these functions to be taken care of, but I think taking the institutions that are now compulsory institutions, okay, not only compulsory but monopoly institutions nonetheless, that serve these functions and that don't serve these functions to the best of their ability, and are heavily documented with their problems in governance, in outcomes, in corruption, in politics, etc. And I rather voluntarize them where there's all sort of better governance incentives, where there'd be more competition and likeliness that outcomes can be achieved, outcomes that we will enjoy. So I want to voluntarize the functions of government. Okay, so this should be the way we should talk about these things in a way that's more palatable to people across the spectrum. Okay, don't say privatize, say voluntarize.